everyone, welcome to a brand new episode of Dinner and a Comedian. Part interview, part meal, part conversation, completely entertaining. We're at the warehouse here in Battle Creek, Michigan, and every single episode we bring you somebody who is either a stand-up comedian, very funny person in the entertainment industry, or somebody you might not have thought has a really great sense of humor. And I'm actually really excited because I get to interview somebody that I thought would be a thing much more difficult to have on the show than what it is, because kind of, I don't want to say fall on my lap, but here I have very wonderful, very funny, up-and-coming comedian Richard Mathis. So thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Now,
the
reason why I'm excited is because most of the people that I end up interviewing or going to interview are comedians who've been comedians. And after the show that I went to with you, you had made the decision in your mind that stand-up comedy is what you want to do. This is going to be your career.
Right.
And so you're right there at that transitionary point to that this is what's going to happen. And so that's cool. I can find out from big names. You can always ask them, well, you were at this point. You were actually here.
Right.
And you're making that decision and progressing forward from that. First off, you're a native from Battle Creek.
Yes.
And living here, you moved away for a bit?
I left after high school in 2002. I went to Indianapolis. So I stayed there for probably about like 3-4 years. Then came back to Battle Creek. And then bounced to Georgia. And then from Georgia back to Indianapolis. Bounced around a lot. A lot of bouncing. I've lived in a few states. But yeah, I'm here now. I've been here for like a year. So I'm back home. It feels good to be home. You know what I mean?
Well, you got a definite good area to be in with a lot of stuff going around. This is kind of a central spot that if you want to go to a lot of different places, you have a lot of different things just within a couple of hours.
Yeah, that's what I realized. I was like in the middle of everything. You know what I'm saying? So once I figured that out, because I was kind of bummed about coming back to Battle Creek, because I'm like, there's no venue, there's nothing for what I'm doing. But once I realized, once I really looked at the map and realized you an hour away from some good places, a couple hours away from a good place. You know what I mean? I'm 2.5 from Detroit, like 3 or 4 from Chicago. I'm still only like 2.5 from Indianapolis. You know what I'm saying? 3 hours there. So yeah, I'm kind of like in the middle of it. So that's what's good about it. Even though I do commute a lot for what I got to do, because there's nothing here, but everything's all around me. So just try to take advantage of what's around me.
Yeah, definitely. And what's interesting is that. Well, first off, how long have you been going on stage, telling jokes? When did you start doing it?
I started this probably about 7 years ago. 7 years ago. And then
so you actually really, really early compared to like some people, I'm in college, here, $20, go tell jokes.
Yeah, I started probably about 7, 8 years ago. Just playing around, really. Met a guy that I was working with at a gas station that was doing it. And I knew something about him because he was an older guy, but he was always happy. Always. And he always had little slick stuff to say, like little one-liner jokes and stuff like that. And he was always happy, even working at the gas station. Everybody else was bummed out. So I asked him one day, like, why are you always so, perfect? And he told me, he does stand up. And once he told me that, I kind of put it together why he'd be happy all the time. Even though he was working at a place he didn't like working, he knew he had something on the side. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Personally happy, you know what I mean? So he never was really down about nothing. So we would joke around at the gas station, playing around and stuff like that, saying little silly stuff. And he told me to come out to the club to Crackers Comedy Club.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so they had an open mic, and I prepared a set. I think I wrote it. It took me like a week to write it, like a month to remember it. You know what I'm saying? I was scared of myself. I ain't even like practicing in the mirror. You know what I mean? So after a month, I finally took it on stage and I did it. My sister was there, And I actually did pretty good. So I got bit early. It wasn't like I did it and my first time was bad. I hear a lot about it. A lot of people say their first time was real rough. And my first time was real good, and it fooled the hell out of me. It's like hitting the lottery. You think you're gonna hit it every time. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think what's good is that there's, if you really, well, one thing I enjoy is I like going to shows. I mean, I'm to where I've actually decided, I want to do something with it. If I do interviews, I'm going to end up putting together some stuff to try some stuff myself. But I'm 46, and trying to start now and do it at 46 is much more difficult. And then, but doing it from a younger age, I mean, where you had a really good set to begin with, even if you didn't, you could really work at it to do it.
Yeah.
But you ended up on, because I can tell you the stuff that I saw, really good.
Thanks.
I mean, it's, I don't think you're making a bad choice. So I think you're making the right choice. Because the only thing I can see from you is going up from there. And if your stuff is what it is now, and they say you want to get better over time, I can't wait to hear more.
Well, that's when you get bitten. Once you begin to see that you're progressing and you haven't plateaued, you can see every set you're getting better, and you'll see it more than other people. You'll analyze the small stuff and see it getting better. Like small stuff, as far as like being loud, staying in the light. You know what I mean? And that's how you see yourself getting better. Of course, your jokes are getting funny, but you're getting your stage presence is getting. You know what I mean? You're actually looking at it and you're like, yeah, I do look like a comedian. Because when you first start, you're just doing it. You know what I mean? You really don't know if you're doing good, you don't know if you're doing bad.
Yeah.
You're just kind of doing it. So after you do it for a while and you watch clips of yourself and you see yourself getting better and not getting worse or not staying the same, that's when you become addicted. Because like you said, then you want to see it's a challenge for yourself of how far you can actually take it. It's like if I can get to this point, you know what I'm saying, right here, if I stick with it, I'm only getting better. You're at a point where the only person that can really stop you is like yourself, if you see yourself anywhere.
It's fun to see somebody like you where, and I enjoy going to open mics because then you never know what you're going to see. Granted, there are some guys that you really wonder and would like to say, your day job calls. I mean, there were a couple of guys when the one we went to, but it's great to see guys who love to do it, really want to do it. And I don't want to say that other people don't put the effort in, but there has to be a point of knowing when you end up doing it that what you're doing is going to be funny. I mean, that's where you try it out, granted, and I understand that. Mm-hmm. But with me, it's like some of the stuff that I write, I want this stuff to be good. And then I want to go from there and improve, just like you said.
It's when you're writing jokes and you're trying to figure out what's good, it's weird because sometimes you'll write a joke that you think is okay, or you're like, maybe it may work, it may not, but it's gonna eat up 15 or 20 seconds, so let's try it. It may be a joke that you think is mediocre, and you go and say it, and they just die out loud.
Yeah.
So you can't really. It's weird. You can go by what you think is good personally, but you got a different sense of humor than the crowd.
Yeah, and that's
so you may say something or have a joke where you think this joke might not even fly, and you go and say it, and it's probably gonna end up one of your best jokes. And you're like, y'all like that? So that's when it gets confusing. It's like, I didn't even really like that. I just said it just to, you know what I mean? Because I wrote it and I was just gonna see it.
What's weird with me is I come up with stuff that weirdly I think is funny. Whereas sometimes that you want to write jokes and you want to have you either want to have a certain style, you want to have a punchline, all these different things that you want, and weirdly, it's bad that I want to be the person to make me laugh if I come up with something. It really is. It's one of those things that, some of the stuff that I have that I think is kind of interesting, people might like it, and maybe they won't, but weirdly, I will go through it and
that's your
that
baby.
makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Well, it makes me laugh, and it in the end, one of the things that may happen is I might just write for people. Since I've got a novel I'm trying to get published, I'm working on a screenplay and stuff like that. So I like the writing portion of it. It's one of those things that it's just interesting how in the writing process of you doing it, trying to do jokes and you being funny and seeing particularly, which is one of the things again that I enjoyed is seeing that you at an earlier stage had some really good, really funny stuff. I mean, it was almost one of those things when Stu ended up flashing the light and I saw the light and I was like, it was one of those things that, oh man, because it was good stuff. And when you end up seeing somebody who's, there were times when I was really like, cut this guy off, give somebody else's time, please. I mean, there's a reason why everybody's laughing, I want to laugh, and it is open mic, it is with, but still, it's good for me for somebody who enjoys it, and I wish people as well that if you get that opportunity, you can go to an open mic, you can discover people that you wouldn't normally see unless you're going to a major comedy club. And there are funny people that are funnier than people I've seen that make it as a real living. There are some people at showcase and open mic shows that, and you're one of them.
You see, that's one thing about open mic. You can bump into some great talent. I've seen some good comedians I've never heard of. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
They ain't got a website, they ain't got a Facebook. You know what I'm saying? They work, they just come and do this because the bar's closed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they like to do it. And then some of them are good, and it's just not really what they want to pursue. I've seen comedians that was awesome. That was just like, I just don't want to do that. Not that they didn't want to do it, but they didn't want to take the time to actually pursue it. You know what I mean? For whatever reasons, family or, you know what I'm saying, your job. If you have an awesome job, there's no way you're going to stop a good paying job to go start open micing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I bumped into so many awesome comedians that some of them really not even trying to push it. And then I've seen some that's not so great, that's pushing it hard as hell, like you said.
Yeah, there are enough of them, and I think it's the glitz and glamour and so-called thought of fame, which we'll get back to, is you made the choice that stand-up comedy is going to be your career. This is the path that you are taking.
Right.
How did that decision come about, and how, as far as you working toward that, is?
Me personally, the decision, it was easy. It was like, when you think about what's best for yourself, and to me personally, this is the only thing I'm not going to say the only thing I'm good at, but I'm like, I consider myself above average. What I can do right now in my life. I ain't a good worker. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. I ain't an above average worker. I never won Employee of the Month or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Never had no raises or nothing like that. Lost a lot of jobs. I just figured out what was good for me. You know, what I could do, what I was best at. And why not pursue something that you're good at?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Then bounce around from job to job. But you have to work because you have to survive. You know what I'm saying? But the decision came from me because I'm better at this than any other thing I know how to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's simple. If you want to make a career, I'm 32, right? So I've never had a job for a long period of time. So say if I've been working like for a year, I'll never be able to retire.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah, absolutely.
I die working.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Stand up. You know what I mean? I can make some good money and have fun. And I can still do that until I can't walk across the stage.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'd rather do that than make it come apart until I die.
Oh yeah.
Unless I can get in a gym or something like that.
Yeah, $32 an hour to pull plastic off the door.
If I get $32, just to do a little something, I'd do that. But it ain't like that in Battle Creek as far as the jobs and stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's most of the jobs are through temp services. So I just kind of see my future. You want to do temp service and make $9 to $10 for the rest of your life till you die.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Until it's over, or try this out. And and you don't know how far you can take it. And those temp services will always be there.
Oh,
If I was to do this for 10 years and decide to stop doing it, that temp service is still going to be right there.
Oh, guaranteed. They'll call you the next day. Oh, we've got this. Come on down
And all I got to do is get some clean pee from my little cousin or something, and I'll be right back working. So it ain't like they're not going anywhere. And I know what my future is with that. I'm going to work $9-10, maybe 12, until you punch out. You know what I mean? Until it's over. So I made it for myself. And like we were talking about before, at the club, when you make a decision that's unconventional, you know what I'm saying? For most people, like probably like my parents, coming from a small town where people don't really chase dreams that much, you know what I'm saying? So you get backlash for it. But I had to do what was right for me. What I felt would be a fun life for me. You know what I'm saying? Not for someone else.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's with everybody. I mean, I unfortunately ended up similarly that my dad worked his life away, and it took me way too long, so I'm kind of stuck, and I'm doing kind of things I like at this point. But I understand that as far as do I wish things would have ended up being different, and that could have, but now I know, and it's good that you know sooner than where I'm at, so you can make that. Because it's cool. Because in ways, it would be neat living through you as you make that progression, and you never know. You could end up.
You never know how far you could take it. Like for instance, last year I was working here. I was making wings, and a year later, I'm doing an interview, and they're about to give me some wings. So you know what I'm saying? It's not like $1 million thing right now, but I can already see my progress, and I'm doing something right. I'm going the right way. You know what I'm saying? It's a path that you take, and like your parents tell you, it ain't your path or your plan. It's God's plan. I couldn't tell you a year ago I was gonna be in an interview with you right here, and I was back there sweating and shit, being yelled at. So yeah, you make a decision for yourself. And even if it's unconventional. For a small town, what I want to do is this is their fantasy land.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? When I go up to somebody that's been working for 25, 30 years straight, I'd be like, hey, I want to do stand-up. They're like, yeah, sure.
I've been pretty much, I'm at 27 years almost consistently working, and I can tell you, go for it. Because after 27 years, and I look at it and where you end up, you gotta do what you like and want to do.
That could actually turn into something. Now, I'm not telling you if that's if you're good at something and you become confident behind something. I'm not telling people to quit their jobs and start snowboarding and you never snowboarded before, just what you see on TV and you like it.
Well, as long as they do it in such a way
right. But if at least have the talent in it to do it, so you at least know when you're sacrificing all this other stuff, you are actually good at what you're doing.
You have a chance.
Yeah, you have a chance. Like when I decided to say I don't want to work for people anymore, I wouldn't have done that if I wasn't good at stand-up. If I was going up every night getting booed and shit, I wouldn't have made that decision. But from having good sets and people encouraging and meeting cool people like yourself, you know what I'm saying, and giving me opportunities, then you sit back and look at it like, okay, even though I am sacrificing a lot, there's other things I'm doing that's unconventional that looks like fairy tale to other people. It's actually moving. It's moving slow, but the shit's moving.
Yeah.
Now I can stay there and make $9 or $10 for. They're not gonna give you no raise to no tip service. You'll make that until you're fired, until you're gone.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You'll make that forever.
And I used to, I actually worked at a temp service, and I can tell you that very rarely did any of the people that I was working with through that temp service ever have a long-term job. It was always, if at some point it looked like they don't make money off of you getting your own job. And so it's one of those things where that's always going to be needed, and it's always going to be there, so that, I mean, it's a good thing that you have that, and you know that, Again, always.
Yeah, that temperature it's always going to be there. I don't have any felonies, you know what I'm saying? I graduated high school, I even got an associate's degree. So those type of jobs will always be there for me.
Yeah.
What I'm doing now, like I said, there's a window, and it may not always be there for me. I can miss out on a lot of opportunities that can really, you know what I'm saying, really boost my career and what I want to do. So I'm not saying just stop working. You gotta work. My father, like I said, he worked for 30-something years. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even be right. I'd be living under a bridge. I've called him for money. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, work. But my father worked, and that's how I've really, with him working like he did it is the reason why I can make the decisions that I made. Because deep down inside, sad to say, I know I have someone I can call if I really don't have to say this to them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you got good people behind you, you can make those decisions like that. And I was blessed to have good parents to where, you know what I mean? I knew if I did sacrifice a lot of things, I ain't gonna be living under a bridge. You know what I'm saying? Mom and dad's basement is always there. And just go back to the temp, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And go back to the temp service. So it was a lot of factors in why I made the decision.
Yeah.
You know, I know I got good parents, even though they talk a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? But I know at the end of the day, yeah, they
parents always care.
Yeah, so.
And one thing that you state, and maybe it's something that, I mean, certain people might know, and maybe some of the public doesn't know and understand, is that even when you make that decision and you're deciding that this is going to be your career, it's not glamorous, and the only thing you do is go on stage 3 nights a week and live your life. There's still a lot of work that has to get put into it. It's not a glamorous thing.
No, this is the grit and grind. Really, you have to be a stand-up comedian. You have to be off just a little. I don't know one comedian that got it off.
Well, I get
mentally. Every comedian I met, even if they're a genius on stage and a genius on paper, if I gave them a test, I can look in their eyes and say, "You got that fucking twinkle." You know what I'm saying? You're a little bit different than the average person. Just like how someone in the military would look at his military buddies and see civilians. They know a military guy, and they know a civilian. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They separate the two like that, just like cops. They know a cop, and they know a civilian.
I was actually going to say that because there is, well, I'll call him a performer because he likes the word performer. Hi, Phil Johnson out of San Jose, California. He said he's about the most normal guy. And thinking about it now that you said it, that there has to be some wrong. I can see where you can see that and say that. That even as being normal, that there's still something in that person.
There's something in them, in that person to do what we do, man. And most of the time, even the big names still have to work on stuff. So if you're in a big city, it ain't like a small city in Michigan where you go to open mic and you don't see anybody. Like nobody you ever seen on TV. So you're gonna see a guy you seen on TV come to an open mic and work on his stuff for free. He's coming here to work on stuff for a specialty aspect.
Yeah.
So he still has something wrong with him. He still has to go out and try new jokes. Maybe they work, maybe they don't. And he has more pressure than someone like me because they expect him to be funny.
Yeah.
They don't care that he's working on stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So he has a lot of pressure just to go to them open mics and still work on stuff and do sets. So you gotta have
hear that, Phil? You are not the most normal person. You are still a little off.
Everybody who tries it is a little off. No matter how good or bad you are, just to even get on stage and try it. You gotta be a different type of person, especially a person with very, very tough skin. And that's what I have noticed. Most of the comedians that I meet and I talk to got tough skin. There's really nothing you can say to them to kind of break them, to make them cry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They can hear worse than words.
Got to. I mean, the one thing that would the whole, I mean, I know how that when you get on stage and you have a heckler, and then to me that to me seems like the one of the bad parts of it that I just wouldn't be able to handle, because I'm one of those guys that, okay, you got a problem with me, we're there. It's out the door. I'm not one
parking lot.
Yeah, because I'm not one of those guys where I did pro wrestling, and so pro wrestling is not, it's not real. And the fun thing with the people that you went with what they do. Hecklers to me is one of those things where it would be quasi-traumatic in a learning experience, but would still always be traumatic to me because I don't have that ability of, okay, I'm going to have this great, funny thing to say, because I know that some guys who do it and they're great at it, and they have so many things to say. Me, I got one thing I could probably come up with just like that, and then I'm like, out there, let's go. That's just me.
What heckler is the thing that I learned, and from talking to other comedians, you know what I mean, like big careers and stuff like that. You always got to remember you got the microphone. So everybody in the club or in the bar can hear you. Everyone. Even the guys back in the kitchen, they're speaking. Yeah. So that's your number one advantage. That guy that's heckling, it's only a few people that can really hear what he's saying. More than likely, he's probably a little bit close to the stage, but the whole club can't hear him. So even if he said what he said was funny or whatever, only a few people are gonna laugh. It's just gonna mess with you mentally. You got the mic. So whenever what you say against him, everyone's gonna hear.
See, my problem.
And everyone in this club is gonna hear me talk about you. You saying what you're saying right now, you and just your table you at, and a few tables around you. So, and then, like you said, you gotta become prepared for a heckling. That's part of the game. That's like saying I play basketball, but I don't like to be fouled. Just let me come through and dunk that bitch. Don't nobody touch me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Don't nobody touch me. Just let me shoot. Nah. You know what I'm saying? There's defense and everything. So it's something to get. I mean, I'm not saying unexpected, but you have to learn how to handle that. That's part of the game. Heckling is just part of it. You gotta remember they draw. So hecklers I take back to the lunch table. I was blessed to grow up in a school where all we did was talk about it. So once they start heckling, my memory goes back to Battle Creek Central lunch table shit. So, and I've been doing that since I was a kid. You know what I mean? So if you want to play dozens, go ahead. We can play dozens. Trust me, you'll get mad before I do. You're gonna want to fight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm gonna say something that's gonna make you want to fight. Because I have no problem playing dozens. That's all we did this week. That's all we still do.
I think my biggest problem is I'm still in pro wrestling mode where if they yell at me, I'm gonna be yelling back at them and screaming at them. Because for me that just feels natural and I enjoy that. When I was the spotlight was on me, I just always loved it. They said, "Oh, you suck." No, you suck more, and your boyfriend says you're good at it. And I got these ones.
Go below the belt.
I got the one thing that I can say. It was always because you say the one thing. And then you continue the match, and depending on if you're a face or a heel, you want to sway that in your favor or away from you. Right. So that if you're the heel, you want people to hate you. You got to make sure they hate you. If you're the face, you got to say it in such a way, and particularly counteracting it. And so, I just think I'm still in pro wrestling mode.
But you also got to think with heckling. If that crowd's yours, if you're doing good and that crowd is yours, whoever's heckling, the crowd is gonna be like, shut up. We're listening to this dude. You're drunk. You're in your own world. This dude's funny. So if you're doing good and you got a heckler, man, that's to your advantage. Now you're just making part of your set. He's annoyed the crowd. You know what I mean? Either they paid, especially if they paid their money. If you're doing a paid show and they paid their money and they're having fun and some dude's up front messing the show up that they paid for, had to get their girls' nails done, their hair done, their feet done, the outfits out, and this one guy up front running the whole show.
The bad thing is that there's I would have one in particular where they were just an ass, and as much as depending on where I'm sitting in the show, and I was back away when we got there, and nobody was saying anything, and I felt bad. And it was one of those things where it was going back and forth. It was going good for who was on stage, but I just felt like, this is my money. I want to see so and so. Unless it's certain people, like if you go to an Ian Bag show, 95% of everything is him and whoever's out there.
Right.
That's a whole different other thing. But I wish more people would, because I wasn't close enough, but I wish more people would end up saying something and commenting it down. And where it ends up being bad is I did go to an open mic and there was a guy who would shut up. Mm-hmm. Thank God. that finally got taken care of because the person at the end who ended up, it was an open mic, so everybody was doing it. Phil Johnson actually came into Grand Rapids, and they allowed him to do 30 minutes, and he shut the guy up. But it was one of those things. It's open mic. You end up saying it's free. The guy comes in there for free, so it's. How do you say? But it's good when you got somebody, even an open mic, whether it's a comedian that can try and
throw some water on that fire.
I just see it as it's not good for a guy.
No, it ain't.
He's used to taking front flips off of a ring apron.
No, yeah, because your whole mentality of it. You're like, I worked on this all week, damn it.
Why are you making?
But hecklers, I mean, you usually, if you're on stage, I always feel you got the advantage. They're drunk. Only so many people in the crowd can hear them. I got the mic. Everybody can hear me. And I'm a comedian, so I'm immature. We're immature, so like I said, if you want to take it to the dozens, we'll go back to high school. You know what I'm saying? That's what I came here to do, is to make people laugh. You know what I mean? To have fun. That was my whole mindset when I came. And if you want to heckle, it'll be part of the show. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It just all depends on how you see it. I don't want hecklers. Like, yeah, somebody come and heckle me, but I know it's part of the game. Like I said, it's like playing basketball and saying, everybody just move. Let me go dunk this ball. Nah, there's gonna be people all like this pulling on your jersey and everything. You still gotta dunk that ball. And it looks even better when you dunk on someone.
Oh yeah, you posterize them. Yeah, here comes George.
You know what I'm saying? It looks better when someone's there to dunk them than dunking on an open lane.
Yeah.
So it's just part of the game. And in doing stand-up, that's the first thing you learn is heckling. It's all part of it. No, you don't want it. That's the nightmare part. That's what everybody thinks about who even wants to try it, is a heckle. When you ask somebody have they ever done it, that's the first thing they go to is, I don't want to get heckled. They worry about the wrong things. But once you do it enough, you don't worry about heckling. You worry about doing your set. Like I said, like sports. Those guys, they go out there and play. They play football. They don't worry about getting their leg broke off, even though it's a good chance it could possibly happen. It's football. You can leave this and your leg be hanging. But they don't think about that. They know what they're doing. They're confident in what they're doing. They're going to play ball. They ain't worried about getting hurt. That's the last thing on their brain. Even though you have a good chance.
Every single time. Yeah.
Every play, you have a good chance of ripping or tearing something. But
or you end up getting up.
Yeah. But they don't worry about that. They love what they do. They're confident in what they're doing, and that's stuff is on the back burner. You know, they cross those bridges when they get to it. They go have fun.
Yeah.
So heckling, this is all part of
it. This will probably get cut out, and you won't see this.
Okay.
Back.
He ain't put his fingers in it, did he? You gotta watch Andy. Andy ain't took a shower yet. He just got out of work.
Did you want any? I think there's some ranch sauce or something out there.
Alright.
I don't know if you want it.
Yeah, and got some napkins so we don't have ranch on our grill.
I usually eat mine straight, so you got two things if you want them.
Yeah.
We have these. Alright. So we will come back in. Or I may just leave it and it just ends up being part of the show.
It's all good.
So,
Food's good.
Dinner portion of the show. What do you got?
Pop. Oh, you know me. Just Midwest stuff. Boneless wings and french fries and a beer.
You got your honey barbecue?
Honey barbecue and chicken parmesan.
And I went straight with honey barbecue.
You got boneless and bone, or just straight boneless?
It's all boneless.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I tell you, they pig too. They way better than B does. You know, B does give you the little bitty little thing. Try to $75. These right here is good. I used to make them.
I actually should have looked and seen that they were at the bar because it's maybe a little bit cooler.
It's all good. I used to make these, dude.
That's good because then you could always do it yourself. And
I know how to mix. I know how to mix all the sauces together. I know how to make buffalo sauce now. Buffalo sauce, I think it's just ranch and hot sauce now. Mix ranch and hot sauce.
Well, as we eat, we will end up doing the conversation portion of it, even though we were doing some of that as well. The conversation portion of it, actually, what I want to do is get into talking about the warehouse. So we're here at the warehouse, and a portion one here for is to check out this place that to look for the possibility of having a comedy night, doing open mic shows, and maybe even having some regular shows with maybe some regular kinds of sets and so on. And this is a pretty good place.
Warehouse is cool. It's a good place, like for Battle Creek. It's a small town. I say one of the bigger bars. I think it's like one more bar. It's kind of big, but Warehouse is cool. They have a lot of venues here. It's cool people work here. Good food. Usually be a good time. Weekends is real cool. Like I said, I've been back for a year. Like I said, when I was a kid, this place was a pool hall. It was a billiards. So we used to come here and shoot pool. But new owner, they turned it into like a bar / club or whatever. But it's cool. I like it.
Oh, I do too. I like the. We're actually up on the stage, which is kind of cool. So they got where the.
They got one of the bigger stages, dude, that I've been on for a
this
bar.
Would be great to have like a top 100 comedian come in, and particularly somebody who can run a stage, because this is big. This is a band stage.
That's what it's mainly for. They have a lot of music here. Lots of music.
Which is great, because rather than when you go to some bars and the stage that they have, it's a very small stage. Everybody gets set up, and a lot of stages are only as big as that.
Oh yeah.
Which is about what, 10 by 8 or 12 by 8. And that's for the drummer. And then you have an entire full stage here that this is probably like some decent smaller rock clubs.
That's what I said. Stage-wise, it's really people really underestimate how big the stage is. It's a very, very big stage for entertainment. I've seen whole bands be up here.
Oh yeah. Well, you can play to a huge crowd and play to lots of people everywhere. If you could put in, dare I say, 300 plus, maybe rising closer to 4-ish if you moved some things around.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you could have a really, really good crowd for a comedy show.
Like I said, when I worked here, when they would throw venues, man, they would pack this place. Like I said, when they done the cage fight, and I didn't even know they could do that. And I looked through my little peephole, they had the cage in there. The old cage, dude. So yeah, room-wise, you got the room. It's a good place for venues, whether you're doing music or any type of entertainment. People really underestimate this spot. Like I said, it's a small town. So.
And sometimes in small towns, there are these gyms that get overlooked.
Yeah, and this is definitely. I can't even say it's really overlooked though, because they have a lot of stuff going on. Like if you look at the calendar, they always got something happening. Maybe comedy-wise, but they've even had a few comedy shows here. But I couldn't say it was overlooked, because when I worked here, like once or twice a week, they would have something going on. Something definitely going on, but it would be dope, I think, for the stand-up side. Mm-hmm. Like you said, from going from the open mic stages, You may not even have a stage.
I think this would.
You might just be in the corner at open mic. You go over there where the stand is at. That's the stage. This is a dope stage.
This would probably have some of the guys who are just trying to do the open mics at bars. I mean, granted, you can end up doing open mic at Grins. You can do that there, but for a lot of the places, I've been to 3 places as far as open mics. There's a couple more that, particularly around in the Grand Rapids and West Michigan area, that I haven't gone. I want to hit both of those as well. I don't know if any place has this nice of a setup. I mean, this is if you really wanted, you had somebody with high energy.
That's why I told you, dude. I was like, once you walk up in here and you see it, that's why I said you gotta look at it. I couldn't really explain it to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, you just gotta see it, dude. For it's dope. It has some good venues, man. Good people too. But you could put some people in here.
I think that's what we need to do is, I mean, we'll end up having to, I think the best thing to do is, we know the possibilities here. We know that they're open to it. Is come up with a true game plan and then work that from there. But come up with a good, and it's Sunday through Tuesday, said with the nights. And Sunday through Tuesday, 50-cent wings. I mean, that's one thing that, if you're wanting to come and you're wanting to see about getting some time in, and you don't mind coming in, you want to eat 50-cent wings. I mean, you can't.
Good wings too.
You can't beat. There's benefits too, and plus, I'm a big fan of Not Your Father's root beer, so that's a big bonus for me.
It's a cool spot. I know a lot of people in stand-up in the area, like Kalamazoo, Grand Rapids, closer places, would definitely take advantage of it. I don't think it'd be hard finding comics at all. We travel, that's our thing. Like you said, we're in the middle of a lot of things. And once they come and see it, and see how it's set up, getting comics will not be an issue. The only issue would be trying to get people to come out. So it's a small town. It's not like Grand Rapids or Detroit or anything like that.
No.
But it would have to be just advertising.
Well, I think there's some ways to see. One of the things I don't want to do is I don't want to put a financial burden on the place because they don't want to lose money, and so the best way to do that is try and figure out how to make it as little as a financial impact as possible. Open mics work great because there's no paying at all to me.
Yeah, ain't nobody dicing on money. That's the main part.
And then you're bringing in between 10 and sometimes maybe even upwards of 25, 30 people, depending on who brings who and what. And that's going to bring in some money as far as whether drinks or some food or some stuff. So it can end up benefiting. Plus, then if you end up doing some of the advertising, I think there's some really good ways that this could end up being something bigger and better. And one of the reasons why is if you're trying to get an MC spot, or if you're an MC and you're trying to get a feature spot, or you're a feature and you really want to do a headline, and you want to, whether you're working on material or you want to work up a full set, you don't have a place to really do those things. One of my thoughts is, why don't we get some of these guys who, I'm really wanting to work on this feature set. Well, let me see if I can get a feature guy who's wanting to work on a headlining set. See about getting these guys to do true one full show. Now make sure that you're not looking at, because they're depending on who it is, and there's some of these guys that you'd kind of question doing more than what they're doing because what they're doing is okay, but if we got some guys who are really working at it, really trying to put together jokes, they're going out on the road and they have some good stuff.
Yeah, because you still want to have a good show.
Give them that opportunity and say, look, this is a spot where you can work on that, work it out, and then even, which I would love to have, is a video recording opportunity to say, here, we can videotape it, we send it to you in a file, and you can use that for purposes to say, here, I did this set here. They don't have to know, they may not be getting paid for it,
right?
But they have a feature set. They can say,
they can show they can do it, they can get through the time.
Yeah. And I think personally, kind of move this along to where I think this would be great for you. Because this would end up being a spot for you to really be able to further and work on, and could be a resume builder as well.
People always ask me, like when I go out of town and talk to other comedians, everybody knows as far as comedy goes, it's dead in Battle Creek. So they're always like, you should find a room to open up an open mic. Which is a good idea, but I don't. That's more the business side of comedy, the business aspect. Somebody put it together and wanted me to do it, I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? But as far as me going out and putting together an open mic and see that. Damn, I hope nobody get mad when I say this, but that's part of the issue that's going on like right now with comedy, why a lot of it's watered down, because everybody wants to open up a room. Yeah. Everybody has a room. I mean, a guy do 2 sets and then he wants to open up a room. So that was something that I told myself I wanted to actually be that person, not a fake it, time to make it kind of guy.
Oh yeah.
So my focus is more on my set and my material. You know what I mean? And like I said, if somebody put it together and wanted me to do it here, yeah, I'll do it. But as far as me putting it together, I'm focused on my career, me doing sets and me doing my material. I think it's a lot of us in stand up and jump the gun. You know what I mean? And I never wanted to be a person to jump the gun and something like that.
Well, I think this would end up being a great opportunity as far as, and I want to end up, working at some of it too, that this would end up being, and from, various podcasts and listening, and I listened to the MMA Roasted podcast with Adam Hunter. He actually started his own at the Dime Bar, so he could not have a problem getting on stage, and he can work his stuff. And for me, one of the thoughts was, this would be an opportunity that you could end up furthering and working some of your stuff and have a venue too. I mean, granted, I want to end up trying to work at it as well and trying to help out and try and make it go further. Even in some cases, see if I can get some bigger people, maybe some guys coming into town that might stop by and work some of that in. But I think this would be a great avenue that.
You want me to run it?
I'm thinking that it becomes. Well, I think there's more of a benefit for you being involved than me. So this would be the Richard and Thomas show, is put your name first. But I would be involved helping you do as much as I could. So we could do this, have it done regularly. But I think this would be a great benefit as far as you. So whatever we would need to do to get guys set up that, send it, contact us and maybe see if we can get some of these, I don't know, kind of maybe a showcase show or something where guys can end up doing bigger sets. If you want to come down, you want to try it out, and you want to work on it because I've got such an, we can end up working something out where we can get these guys to come in and do more than just an open mic, which would look better to have. And as well, you can end up working material to further up, whether you're doing MC or you work towards a feature set. And then this will give you an opportunity that you have a consistent place, and it's not too far from you. I mean, I definitely want to have some kind of involvement to try and have something.
Every time you ate one boneless wing and fell in love with the damn place.
I think this place is great. I think people, like you said, this stage is amazing.
The stage is beautiful. When I first started working there, nobody really knows I do stand-up anymore. But when I first came up here and I seen that stage, I said, oh my God. There's like a naked woman to me. I said, yo, that fucking stage is beautiful. everybody just walked by it. Like, everybody's stage is like this. And I would look at the stage like, y'all don't know the half, dude.
Oh, no.
One of the best looking stages I've seen all year.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just this half circle here, I mean, you've got stages that are as big as this that they fit, 4-piece bands on that I've seen at some bars. I mean, this could really be, if they wanted to do something bigger with it, this is a really fantastic stage.
Now, you talking like a monthly basis, or you talking about monthly or weekly?
At least trying to do something on an every other week.
Every other week?
At least an every other week. Maybe working it in depending on how things go, because getting it started, I think the big thing is whether or not to put together some events here and there, get some guys coming in here and there. Because the one thing I don't want to do is I don't want to say, okay, we're going to do it every single weekend, and you're trying to get people in, and you don't have enough people knowing about it, and then not everybody can end up going every single time.
Right.
So how can you build it and try and do it in such a way to eventually make it where you could have it as an every week thing, and have it to have good guys possibly come in, where it would be nice to have some
or we can open mic it every other week and have a real show once a month.
That could be a good idea. And then have a couple, 2 weeks in between at one point that you can kind of
try to get some real good guys at least to where we know it's going to be a good show.
And there's a whole lot of guys from the Detroit all the way across the Grand Rapids area. There's some really good guys in Lansing. There's a couple guys that I'm hoping I can line things up with, and we can sit down between Jason Hagel and Dan Curry. I mean, even Lansing, which is smaller-ish place, and there's a lot more than just them. And then you've got, there's so many people in Detroit. I mean, you could try and pull in and try and do one of those where you can get some of these, and rather than everybody does 6 minutes, get 4 guys, let the 4 guys do 20 minutes apiece. And so you get more
good guys.
4 good guys.
Good guys.
And the one good thing about the fact that you end up, tomorrow and Wednesday, you got some open mics that you're going to be going to as well.
Yeah.
You can see some of these guys, and you can actually make the determination. Okay, this is a guy I'll put on this list that we can end up doing this.
Finding comics gonna be a problem. I know. Plenty of good comedians. Gotta do it. It's just gonna be the advertising and bringing people out. I got some ideas that we can work at that will make. I mean, we're not that far from Kalamazoo. No.
How about? Here's a good one. We're probably cutting a lot of this out because this is a good idea. The more I'm liking it, the more I'm seeing that something can come of it. So I'm sorry. We'll probably end it and kind of snip it.
Cut that out. I wouldn't. Well then, how about we with some money and take that? Yes. That should be on TV in the morning. We'd be Madison.
Oh yeah. Wait, what? Huh? So actually, we'll end up and we'll wrap it up so that. We'll end up doing a little bit more talking, and then we'll end up furthering things along. So, thanks everybody. Thank you to Richard Mathis.
Thanks for having me here, man.
Oh,
it's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure, mine too.
Thanks for coming to Little Video Battle Creek and visiting us. It was cool.
Oh, this is
and some free wings.
A fantastic place. This is going to be. I think this could end up being really fun, and you'll see more about it as the video diary goes along. But. Got some more. Got a couple other I'm trying to work out. One maybe this week, so we got a follow-up that might end up seeing. And there will be more episodes coming with some other guys. And maybe it's a surprise. I'm trying to work somebody out. Hopefully, he doesn't have much going on right now, so you can end up doing this. So we'll see you upcoming, guys. Join us again for another episode of Dinner and a Comedian.
stuck my middle finger at that motherfucker. Might have to cut that out.
No, middle finger stays in. Middle finger stays in.